Coming up on FTC Top 25, we have 25 amazing teams comprised of your votes from the community. We'll count down the list, detail our personal snubs of the month, along with top 50 team shoutouts, give some insights into these teams, and have a couple giveaways and more. Get ready for the March FTC Top 25.
This video on fun is brought to you by our viewers, supporters, members, and also in partnership with the following. Studica Robotics is everything your team needs to build, learn, and compete. Check out their FTC starter kit, intake hub kit, and odometry wheel options at studica.com/robots. Teams in the USA can get up to 25% off and apply for grants at studica.com/robots. True competitors know that every second counts. That's why Kettering University challenges you to dive in right away as a first-year student. Participating in robotics programs helps Kettering students secure a valuable co-op. Whatever your interest, Kettering gives you more space to work faster and win faster. Learn more at kettering.edu/first.
Welcome to FTC Top 25, where we reveal the top 25 teams you voted for. From Fun FTC, I'm Rahul, and joining me are Anthony, Jessica, and Yashas, and our producer behind the scenes, Tyler. We're excited to have you all tonight for so many of you to participate in voting in the FTC Top 25. Make sure next month you keep an eye on the final FTC Top 25 of Into the Deep and Reveal Night, so you keep an eye out for when voting opens to cast your votes. Tonight, we have giveaways from SparkFun and Studica Robotics, so stay tuned to see how you can enter and win. We also want to shout out FTC Scout, who we are utilizing for some of the data. Let's get right into the March FTC Top 25. Without further ado, let's get starting up with number 25. Kicking off our list, we have 3189 Rapid Unscheduled Disassembly. They performed extremely well at the Wyoming Championship, leaving with an OPR of 206.25, ranked 22nd in the world. The robot features some elegant aesthetics, a claw-to-claw transfer, and even a spectacular 6-Spessen autonomous. One part of their robot that I'd like to highlight is their impressive multi-use long deposit arm. The arm is extremely long, reducing the height they need to extend to deposit samples in the bucket, as well as intaking specimens from the wall and scoring them with ease. They also use their deposit slides to double as a level to ascent. As they've qualified for the World Championship, I can't wait to see what they're going to improve on, and they're surely going to be a team to watch. Anthony, do you have anything else you'd like to add about this team?
Yeah, I mean, so aesthetics for me is always something that I love looking at, because what makes a robot look nice, and also the fact that they can make it work as well as it does is something that I really enjoy seeing for teams, because being able to do that, and like as you're scoring here, it's really they're really perfected and really smoothed that out. So I can't wait to see what they do for Worlds and how that's going to look at the World Championship.
Great. Let's move on to number 24.
At 24, we have 17861 CSH from Team Astoria, Romania. With an OPR of 195.1, they're ranked 43rd in the world after Romanian nationals. The first thing that stands out to me is their autonomous OPR, where they have a 60.36, making them ranked 4th overall in the world. It is then made clearly evident why, when this match, they have the capacity to hit a 9-sample autonomous. Now they were not able to hit that due to them missing the first one and then colliding with 17962 Row 2D2, causing them to miss, but Row 2 ended up scoring. Their drive is not any less impressive. In this match, they ended up scoring 20 samples in the basket, which is crazy to see. Their grabbing with their turreted claw arm is quick, paired with their rapid lift to score samples quickly. They got second place Inspire and are going to the World Championship. I can't wait to see what improvements they make from here. Yashas, do you have any comments on CSH?
Yeah, I mean, their intake and their entire robot is just super fast and super efficient. The 20 samples is incredible, because I know someone at the beginning of the season tried to figure out how many samples you could fit in the basket, and it was around 20. So the fact that teams are pushing towards that boundary of 20 samples and might have to start going into the low basket is really incredible.
All right. Let's go up with number 23.
In 23rd, we have Team 20870, Team Matrix from Mumbai and India. With an incredible OPR of 217, they are ranked 14th in the world. The biggest thing that stands out to me, making them a super robot, is their 6-specimen autonomous, which has the potential for more if they speed up certain segments of their autonomous. Furthermore, their teleop period is insane, with a rapid, fast set of horizontal slides and a claw that can seemingly grab from any orientation, leading them to score upwards of 15 specimens a match. And if that wasn't enough, they have an incredibly fast level 3 ascent that propelled them into the World Championship this year.
Yeah, so 15 specimens in a match is definitely insane. Especially when you look at their claw design, it's really impressive of all the teams who are able to just, when they go to submersible, just instantly grab those samples and then just going to the human player station, being able to turn that into points scored. So yeah, I'm definitely very excited to see how they do at the World Championship. Definitely going to be extremely competitive once we look at line selection.
Great. Now let's move on to number 22.
Excellent. At 22, we have team 18763 Texpand from Cape Town, South Africa. And with a global top 100 OPR of 182.26, this team is back at it again with a very clever robot design. A subsystem that stands out the most to me is their intake, where their claw, which is mounted on a turret, can quickly obtain samples from all directions. Compared to typical forwards-backwards possession we normally see, this is all made possible with their usage of computer vision, brake beams, and limit switches, which automate the process, allowing them to cut down the cycle times by not having to move left and right. And this has all allowed them to achieve 3-second cycle times in teleop and an 8-sample autonomous in combination to the rapid vertical linear extension.
Yeah, I think Texpand at this point, they're almost known for the amount of degrees of freedom they have in their robot. Looking at their last year's center stage robot, they're into the deep robot. And I think they're one of those teams that can really push for those really high and consistent sample autonomouses just simply with the number of degrees of freedom on their intake and on their outtake. And it's really impressive what they're able to put together. And they're going to be really exciting to watch at Worlds. And next up at 21st, we've got team 14259 TURBØ V8. They're coming off being the Winning Alliance first pick in the NorCal Championship, which is no easy feat. The robot is extremely mechanically complex, featuring very fast deposit slides, a rapid pivot arm for both depositing specimens and samples, and a super consistent and reliable intake. They displayed a very consistent 5-specimen autonomous, helping them to win the NorCal Championship. One part that's just truly standing out to me is how just impressive their intake system is. It's able to suck in samples at all sorts of angles without requiring much driver alignment. And you can see the amount of work and iteration they've put into it. In NorCal, where there was heavy contact in playoff matches, their intake was key to their victory. Going into the World Championship, where contact reaches like a whole nother level, their active intake is going to be crucial to their performance. And I could definitely see them being one of those high-level teams at the World Championship. I can't wait to see what further improvements they add, potentially with a level 2 or even a level 3 ascent. Anthony, do you have anything to say about this team?
Yeah, so knowing TURBØ V8, they really do, like you said, they built those robust robots that allow their intaking. I remember seeing them at MTI last year and how they were still able to take those hits on their claw arms and whatnot, and it didn't seem like it had much of an effect. And I think it's really crazy that they have an OPR of 199.5 without an ascent. So I think it's gonna be really cool to see what they come up with, especially because they qualified out of NorCal and we have a few weeks, so they probably could do that. So at the number 20 spot, we have team 19164 Cristabol from Kazakhstan. This team was also on number 20 on last month's sub 25 and was the team I presented. So this team has an OPR of 213.75, making them ranked 16th in the world. We have not seen much from them since the last top 25, but let's talk about what we do know. The robot is very fast and nimble, one, as we can see here, pulling off a 5-specimen auton with relative ease. They grab off the back of the bot and score out the front, which is something that makes them quite quick. They scored 9 specimens during the tele part of the match that we see here. This bot is one that's quick, and their driving is top-notch with their extension out and maneuvering around other bots. It is good to see teams not being afraid to take risks like this. And to top it all off, they have their level 2 ascent that they can hit last second, propels them up, and gives them the extra points they need. They will be at the World Championship, and so I cannot wait to see what they can do for that. Yoshis, do you have any comments on Cristabol?
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible robot. It's really small and fast, and the fact that they're scoring their specimens from the front of the robot gives them that ability to perhaps score or pick up a sample from the submersible during autonomous, and and maybe go for the six specimen auto.
Great. Now let's move on to number 19.
Yeah. In 19th, with an OPR of 209, we have Team 16166 What's Up from Romania. Although they did not qualify to the national championship, they were a stellar performer at the recent Info 1 scrimmage, with rapid cycles between the submersible and the human player. These cycle times of around these cycle times of around 10 seconds allowed them to score more than 8 specimens in just a teleop period. Lastly, they also have an incredible level to ascent in less than 2 seconds. Jessica?
Yeah, these fast ascent times are really what it takes in order to really optimize how you score in the end. Because when you're thinking about a time versus points scored, especially for a level 2 ascent, that's really where you want to, make sure that things are optimized enough. So it makes sense to hang instead of getting those last field cycles in. So yeah, it's really, really exciting to see all these teams get their climb times smaller and smaller. So I'm looking forward to see some super fast level 3 ascents at the World Championships.
Great. Let's move on to number 18.
Next at 18, we have Team 9881 Golden Gears from Southern California. And with a top 50 global OPR and insane teleop performance, this team utilizes a seamless active intake to transfer samples within a blink of an eye. Something that really makes their extremely fast cycle times possible is their horizontal and vertical extension speed. A lot of teams have been dealing with excess friction or load issues on their outtake slides, but Golden Gear's simplistic and lightweight design makes scoring process look so effortless. And overall, great job to this team.
Yeah, I had a chance to interview Golden Gears a few or almost 2 months back on Behind the Bot, and it's truly impressive to see just how fast and consistent their teleup cycles are. You can see that every cycle is almost has the same pathing, the same deposit sequence, and you can just see how many hours they've spent into driver practicing, and that's really what's been key to their performance. And yeah. Moving on to number 17, we've got Team 18270 RoboPlayers from Texas. With an 11th ranked OPR of 219.11, they're one of the best teams in the world. Their robot was recently featured on a Behind the Bot, which went into great detail on the various subsystems of their bot. Perhaps the most mechanically impressive and unique is their intake, which incorporates many gears and belts to have both side and top rollers, allowing them to rapidly intake samples. They also have countersprung linear slides and a linear rail, allowing them to deposit specimens. They also achieved what I believe is one of the most impressive achievements this season, scoring 283 points solo in a real competition. And this robot is just so impressive, clearly optimized to reduce cycle times to the fraction of the second. They're going to be one of the strong contenders coming into the World Championship. Anthony, do you have anything to say about RoboPlayers?
So RoboPlayers, for all the time that I've known them, it's been a really fast robot, and they've always gone the fastest they can, and they've always been able to just optimize, and just keep going, and it does not fail to disappoint. They do that here, and they show off how they can score that 282 points solo, like you said, in a real competition. Yeah, I agree. They're totally going to be a very big, strong competitor at Worlds, just because of how quick they are and how fast they are. At number 16, we have 19066 AiCitizens from Foxani, Romania. With an OPR of 203.00, they are ranked 26th in the world. AiCitizens is always known for their quick and nimble robots that extend quick and then are fast to cycle. Rami, their driver, is one of the best that I've ever known. One of the things I wanted to highlight about them here was their adaptability. Their intuition to just drive around and grab from the best place or avoid defense and just to be able to score is really something that helps them get the job done. AI finds a way to get it done. And it's something that they're amazing at. Unfortunately, they did not make it to the World Championship, but hopefully we'll get to see them at MTI or maybe a premier event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can go
yeah.
ahead.
I mean, I think having a good driver is key to performing well, and like you said, they have that intuition to drive around, go to wherever is necessary, and that's really important in any game at first to have that drive practice.
Yeah, I think it's really unfortunate to see the winning alliance captain from last year not make Worlds, but I think that speaks to how competitive Romania is. And yeah. And now moving on, we're gonna get started with our giveaway. So what Tyler, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, thanks a lot. So, a couple things to talk about first. Let's thank one of our show sponsors, Kettering University, for their continued support and fun. And, every student at Kettering University gets to experience their cutting edge co op programs that seamlessly blend the professional and academic worlds. So, this is not an internship, by the way. So, if you're looking for a place for tons of people that are from first, go to school and get a great set of fully immersive working experiences that actually can help them pay for college as well too. Head on over to kettering.edu/first to learn more about their incredible program and get more information. And scholarships are closing soon, by the way. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you go check out right now. Go to kettering.edu/first or scan that QR code. We are going to start our first giveaway from our friends at SparkFun. They're back with another one of those OTA sensors on there. So SparkFun's your keyword for that. Been seeing so many different teams using this. I'm really excited to see, especially for future years as well, too, how teams utilize this on their robots. I think of all the teams that we've gotten a chance to talk to that have been on Behind the Bot as well, too, that have tried these out and had some great experience with them as well. So hopefully you get a chance to win one. Type SparkFun in chat right now, and that's your opportunity to win. And before we get into our top 15, we're going to send it back to everybody to talk about our snubs of the week.
It's time for snubs for the month of March. These are teams that did not make the FTC top 25 and even landed outside of the top 50 that each of us want to recognize and give reason why we think they could have made the top 25 this month. Anthony, why don't you start us off with the snubs?
All right, so my snub is 25538 Aura from Romania. With an OPR of 194.64, they're ranked 44th in the world. That is truly an accomplishment for a second-year team. Their turreted bot makes them truly unique. Their auton consists of being able to hit 5 specimens. And like I said, their turret is really quick, and they use it in auton, and they don't really use it in teleop, which is interesting, and it makes sense because of the 20-inch horizontal expansion limit. And they use that extra expansion limit to grab off the wall. The way they push the specimen onto the bar allows for consistent scoring, and to top it all off, they boast a 9-second total level 3 hang. They did quite well in this match, scoring 14 specimen with 19043, who ended up being disabled the entire match. They got the Innovative Award 3rd place, and hopefully we will see them at a premier event or MTI.
Yeah, I mean, a turret is something that we haven't really seen in FTC this year. So it's really cool to see how teams are using that to make their autonomouses or even teleop periods quicker.
Great. Yeah, Trust, why don't you go on with the next snub?
Yeah, so my snub of the month is Team 12791 Iterative Intentions from Flower Mound, Texas. Although their OPR is relatively low, they have an insane 6 specimen autonomous and a simply lovely 7 sample autonomous. Their active intake is also one of the fastest I've seen, and their outtake arm is super efficient in the way that it scores. Couple this with insane driver control period they always have. They have a sure iteration point for future competitions, be it UIL or Premier. Jessica, any thoughts?
Yeah, so 12791 is in my region as well, North Texas. And every single year, they really have extremely optimized, consistent, simple robot designs that just do the game really, really well. So with everything considering in Texas, with states being canceled, I think that Iterative Intentions did a wonderful job this season. And I'm very excited to see how they can grow in the upcoming seasons. So yeah, my snub is Team 22312, the Brobdingnagian Tritocephalic Brainstem Robotics team from Pennsylvania, and with an average match score of 306, placing 30th in the world with an OPR 200. This team is very impressive on the field. In autonomous, they can score 6 samples, finishing their first 4 during the first 15 seconds of the match and taking 2 from the submersible. This is all made possible due to their rapid single linear slide outtake design with a lightweight claw end effector. Overall, this robot is just super clean. I'm excited to see their performance at premier events or MTI.
Yeah, I think Brainstem has a great robot year in, year out, and they've really brought that same philosophy with a really simple outtake, and that's been really impressive this year. Next up, my snub for this month's top 25 is Team 11329 ICE Robotics. They recently had a Behind the Bot and currently hold a 172 OPR and were the winning alliance captain at the Indiana Championship. Their active intake's ability to filter out samples is truly impressive, and their level 3 using a drivetrain powered takeoff shows the mechanical complexity of this bot. They're able to hit a 6 specimen autonomous and will for sure be one of the contenders at Worlds. Yasha, so what do you have to say about Ice Robotics?
Yeah, I mean, I had the pleasure of interviewing them at one of the Indiana qualifiers, and I can just say that their robot was insane. Their hang, especially, was one of the most unique and incredible things that I've ever seen, and I'm excited to see how they do at Worlds.
Great. Now let's head back into our top 15.
Yeah, so ranked 15th with an impressive OPR of 204, hailing from Omaha, Nebraska, we have Team 20077, the Indubitables. With their rapid, efficient transfer and intake mechanisms, it's no wonder they claimed the title of winning alliance captain at the Nebraska Championship. Their 6 specimen autonomous mode also holds the potential to go above and beyond. Couple that with their indubitably swift and seamless driver control times, I can't wait to see how they score at Worlds. Jessica?
Yeah. You could just see how when the team's scoring all the specimen and intaking from the submersible, that they've really optimized almost every single aspect of the robot. And these small different optimizations and tweaks on the robot designs is really how you sort of bridge the gap between being a good robot and being a great robot. So very exciting to see this team do well, and I can't wait to see how they do at Worlds. So yeah. Next, at 14, we have Team 20153 Silver Wolves from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. And with the number 1 OPR in Pennsylvania, an incredibly unique and clever robot design, this team definitely deserves their place in our top 25. In order to cut down their cycle times, this team's specimen optimized robot intakes samples from the submersible while scoring a specimen on the bar, allowing their intake to swivel around to the human player station, making their pathing incredibly efficient, which allows them to score very high points during matches. And I'm very excited to see their performance at the World Championships. They're definitely a very strong specimen contender once the line selection rolls around.
Yeah, I think Silver Wolves was like one of the most consistent specimen teams I've seen this season. They were like almost hitting 17, 18 specimens like every match. And it's really clear that they've min-maxed their robot to be optimized for specimens or in particular. I think they're going to be one really high-level specimen team to watch in the World Championship. Next up, at 13, we've got Team 19743, Definitely Human from San Diego. They recently were the winning alliance captain at the San Diego Championship, ending with an OPR of 224.25. The robot features an impressive gantry-based intake, a level 3 ascent, and even a 6 specimen autonomous. My team personally competed against them in elims, and it was clear that their bot size helped them greatly in their matches, blocking up certain areas and being resistant to defense. Going into the World Championship, they have very strong potential as one of the strongest specimen teams in the world. I can't wait to see what upgrades they're going to add into Worlds, potentially in speeding up aspects of their robot or making their level 3 ascent more consistent. Anthony?
Yeah, so definitely Human is a team that is really impressive to me, how they've optimized everything and how they're able to just be as quick as they are and be as consistent they are, as well as it's going to really help them. And I'm going to be curious to see, like you said, how they're going to be able to improve as time goes on. At 14, we have 14270. At 12, we have 14270 Quantum Robotics from Bucharest, Romania. With an OPR of 230.19, they're ranked 4th in the world. Their bot is a box tubing robot that scores samples quickly. They're rapid, and their scoring claw is able to deposit quickly. Their pocketed chassis also allows for some pretty quick scoring and quick movement around the field. The best competition was the Black Sea Showdown, where the OPR was 230.09, and since then it has not been as high. They were not selected at Romanian Nationals for alliances, but they did get the Connect Award 3rd place. This is a really great team with a lot of cool design, and I can't wait to see what they do for future seasons.
Yasha, do you have any comments about Quantum?
Yeah, of course. I mean, a pivoting box tube is something that we've seen in recent years and this year as well. It's always really fast, so I'm excited to see how they can maybe iterate on that box tube and that pivoting mechanism in the future at an off-season event.
Great. Let's take it on to number 11.
Yeah. In 11th place, we have Team 15972 TehnoZ from Romania. With an OPR of 209 and a solo high score of 270, it's no surprise that they qualified to Worlds out of Romania. With a 7-specimen autonomous, the current world record, and 20 specimens, otherwise known as the whole chamber, in teleop, they have a robot that is unlike any other. Despite having a claw and takeover active, they have shined through the rough, showcasing what a simple but effective robot can do with a lot of drive practice and optimization. They also just posted an attempted 8-sample autonomous on the FTC Discord, so I can't wait to see what they do in the future at Worlds. Jessica?
Yeah, I'm not sure if any team has gotten an 8-specimen autonomous yet, at least published it, but now it's just the race to see who can get those small optimizations, those small tweaks, in order to, score 8, maybe 9. If we're gonna see a 10-specimen auto, that'd be pretty sick. But I don't think it's gonna happen. But yeah, extremely great job to this team. It's very difficult to do even anything over 5-specimen autonomous. Even a 5-specimen autonomous is pretty difficult. So yeah, great job to this team. So in 10th, we have team 11260 Up-A-Creek Robotics from Longmont, Colorado, a very frequent team that we've seen on the top 25 all season, and for very good reason. As the first team to popularize the clipbot design, Up-A-Creek has been delivering season after season with incredibly innovative robot designs. As one of the first teams to achieve 7-specimen autonomous, Up-A-Creek shows great potential to be one of the, if not the best, specimen robots at the World Championship in April. One of the highlight points of this robot is that they're a lot less susceptible to defense in comparison to non-clip specimen designs, which typically occurs on a robot's trip to the human player station submersible. By having to frequent the station a lot less, they're able to keep flawless cycles going, which scales their scoring potential to another level.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. I think our last two teams on this list are honestly, in my opinion, some of the best specimen teams in the world, Up-A-Creek and TehnoZ. And I think Up-A-Creek with their clipbot, it's really exciting to see what they're going to do at Worlds. And they're definitely going to be involved in Worlds elims somehow. And I'm excited to see if they can somehow add an ascent mechanism of some sort. But I can't wait to see what they do at Worlds. Up next, breaking into the single digits, we've got Team 16460 GEarheads from Wisconsin. They've been featured on this list all season and have continued their strong performance with a recent Winning Alliance captain win at the Wisconsin Championship and a 217.85 OPR. Their robot just features so much mechanical and software complexity, from their differential slides and claw differential intake, PTO-based level 3 ascent, and 8-sample autonomous, one of the few 8 samples in the world. More details can be featured on their Behind the Bot. They have one of the most versatile bots in the world, being one of the best at both samples and specimens. I can't wait to see what additions they add for Worlds, and they will certainly be one of the strongest teams at Houston. Anthony?
Yeah, so GearHeads is a really fast robot, as we can see, and it's just they've really perfected the quick grabbing like that without the box doing. They've perfected and made it super quick, and I can't wait to see what they do and how they continue to keep improving as the season goes on. At number 8, we have 24033 Alphatronic from Romania. They have an OPR of 219.33, with them being 10th ranked in the world. They currently have the world record with TehnoZ, who was also on this list earlier. They're a very fast sample robot. In this match, they have 7 samples in Alton, even after they collided with TehnoZ, as we see here. They're extremely fast, and their strategy of coming under the specimen bar during teleop until TehnoZ scored was something that stood out to me. They were grabbing quickly unopposed and scored 19 samples and a level 3. They won the competition with TehnoZ and is going to Worlds and set 3 of the highest top 10 scores in the world. Everybody has to watch out because they're going to be a force to be reckoned with at Worlds. Yoshis, do you have anything on Alphatronic?
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact that their robot is so fast, I think just the planning that they had with TehnoZ in order to create those fast cycles and efficient cycles where someone's always scoring is really important for teams to look at for the future. And
Great. Let's take it into number 7.
yeah, in 7th we have Team 19098 Eastern Foxes from Romania, currently ranked 8th globally with an OPR of 220. They just competed in the Romanian Championships, ending as the finalist alliance captain, where they scored over 400 points multiple times. Last month, Abbas mentioned how they had one of the fastest lifts this season, and that is still true. Their intaking has definitely improved, which makes them an insane sample robot. I'm definitely looking forward to Worlds where we will see if they can pull something crazy off. Any thoughts, Jessica?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see or learn about how they're able to make their slides so fast. Whether it be like some PTO or maybe using more than just two motors on their linear slides. But yeah, because I think one of the bottlenecks to most robot designs this season is just being able to optimize their extension speeds. So I think it'll be pretty interesting to learn more about that team. So yeah, in sixth, we have Team 14903 SharkBots from New York, and with the 5 specimen autonomous and a blazing fast sample scoring, they have been on almost all of our top 25s this season, and for good reason. With a top 5 OPR of 226.65, the SharkBots have been dominant all season, becoming the winning alliance captain in New York's Excelsior region and advancing to the World Championships. When I think of this team, I think of consistency. Each of their drivers' movements and pathing is extremely consistent, and each of their cycles repeat seamlessly without much pause or interruption, even if there's another robot competing in the submersible. I am very excited to see how this team takes on their strong points and bringing it to another level in preparation for the World Championships.
Yeah, I think SharkBots has one of the fastest lifts and most efficient driver control periods this season, and going into future competitions, they're definitely going to be a really strong team to watch. Now, let's move into our giveaway. Tyler, take it away.
Yeah, we're going to draw from that giveaway from Spark Fun. We'll be starting another giveaway in just a moment as well, too. If you do win, by the way, please go to funroboticsnetwork.com and click the link that we have near the bottom of our page for giveaway winners. And that person is going to be Grant Souther. Congratulations to you. Make sure you go to funroboticsnetwork.com in order to claim for that giveaway. Couple more things to talk about. We'll have another giveaway starting up in just a moment as well, but we do also want to thank the sponsor of our next giveaway, Studica Robotics, for their support of fun as well too. A lot of great stuff with Studica Robotics. They have some new products coming out, and they will be at championships as well too. So if you're going to be there, make sure you stop by their FTC booth. May have some cool stuff for you as well too. But you can talk to the team there, learn more about some of their products as well. But really key things, T6 aluminum, anodized with no rough edges as well too, and they have structure now in 6 different colors. So a lot of great stuff. If you're in the U.S., teams can get a 25% discount to everything and also some grants. So scan the QR code on screen or go to studica.com/robots to see if some of their products could be a great fit for your team, especially if you're entering off-season. This is a great opportunity. They even have a free sample you can order if you want to just see more about their structure and see if it's a good fit for you. As mentioned, we are going to start a giveaway from Studica Robotics as well too. It's actually kind of a dual giveaway, so let's talk about that real quick. So there's 2 pieces total. It's a 12 volt, 3000 milliamp nickel metal hydride battery pack, P55 Aries, and then also the charger for it as well too. So a dual thing that you get with that. Here's the charger as well that you can get. Type in power in chat right now. That's your opportunity to win. I do want to talk about one more thing before we send it back, everybody, for the top 50. We do have the FTC reveal night coming up on Friday, April 11th. So if you're interested in that, this is open for any teams. You do not have to be going to Worlds, especially we know we have so many teams that are going to different premiere events and stuff. But if you want to do kind of this final hurrah and submission for this, April 11th is going to be the date. Submissions will be due on Wednesday, April 9th. You can scan that QR code or just go to funroboticsnetwork.com/FTC reveal night. We'll have more info on our Discord as well too. So we hope to see you there. We had 30 teams last year, and we're hoping for a great turnout this year to celebrate premieres, championships, all that and more. Very exciting time for that. So let's send it back to everybody to talk about ranks 26 through 50 and to give some shout outs.
Before we get to our top 5 teams for the FTC Top 25, let's bring up which teams just missed out on the Top 25 with our 26 to 50 rankings. Each of us have picked one of these teams to give a shout out to as an honorable mention for this month's FTC Top 25. Anthony, let's start us off.
My top 50 shout out is Team 2265 Heart of Robot from Buzău, Romania. With an OPR of 216.19, they're ranked 15th in the world. And they're a very, very quick specimen robot. They have a 5 specimen auton and are able to score very quickly. They have an average of 8 to 10 specimen in Telyop, hitting 14 and 16, I believe, at Romanian Nationals. They have a clipper mechanism that was not on at Romanian Nationals. I've been able to work with them, and they put that on the national Discord recently. But it will be on at the World Championship because they won third in Spire. So they will be there, and Heart of Robot is really going to be a team that people need to be watching out for.
Yeah, I mean, I think the clip-bop mechanism is something that I'm really looking forward to seeing because right now I think I've only seen Up-A-Creek do that. So I'm really excited to see more robots with that clip-bop mechanism. For my top 50 shoutout, I had the privilege of interviewing them at the Illinois State Championship. So with an OPR of 202, it's Team 10091 Nyan Robotics. And they really proved that they aren't average nerds with their performance at the Illinois State Championship. Their active intake paired with their horizontal linkage slides are rapid fast, and their outtake is simplistically efficient, allowing them to score 300 plus points consistently at the Illinois State Championship. I hope you can catch their incredible robot in a month at Worlds.
Nice, yeah. Their subsystem design and also their usage of different materials really looks like they optimized for being more lightweight. So it's really impressive seeing all the teams, creating those lightweight outtakes in order to have, easier load on the linear extension motors. So, yeah. And my top 50 shoutout is Team 19104 Cyberpunk Robotics from Romania, and with an OPR of 218.96, currently ranking 12th in the world. In autonomous, this team seamlessly scores 5 specimen with a very efficient robot design. And in Telyop, they transfer over to the sample side, using their passive claw to intake samples quickly and effortlessly, transferring it to score. A highlight point of this robot is their consistency in intaking, where they immediately intake when approaching the submersible, allowing their cycle times to be consistently fast throughout the match.
Yeah, I think Cyberpunk's ability to do specimens and samples at a really high level has made them really good, and as shown through that really high OPR, and I think that's why they're featured on the Snubs. My top 50 shoutout is Team 6417 Blue Crew, who just missed out at rank 29 with an OPR of 191. Their robot just has so many moving parts. Their box tube extension, active intake with multiple degrees of freedom, multi-actuator level 3 at hang, and unfortunately they lost in the Chesapeake Final Championship, but hopefully we will see their bot at future events such as MTI or any premier events that they have qualified to. Next up, let's start off our top 5. And to kick us off, we've got Team 21311 Lion Robotics Gold from Iowa. They're coming off being the winning alliance captain at the Iowa Championship and have an OPR of 220.34. The robot was recently on a behind the ball, and it features a 2-wheeled active intake, multi-degree of freedom outtake arm, and even an 8-sample autonomous. To me, the biggest part that stands out on their robot is how smooth and consistent their cycle times are. It really stands out how many hours they put into driver practice, and this is kind of shown through their world record, which was held for a little bit of time before it was beat by another record. At Worlds, hopefully we'll see them with future upgrades and adding some form of ascent or continuing to modify their bot further. I can't wait to see them in more competitions, and they're going to be one of the best sample teams at the World Championship. Anthony, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so Lion Robotics Gold really has perfected that sample scoring. As we can see here, they're really quick and fast at it, with their lift being super fast and agile and nimble. It's really amazing to see how good they are, and I'm really curious to see how they can keep improving from here on out. At number 4, we have Team 19043 CyLiis from Iași, Romania. They have an OPR of 223.11, making them ranked 7th in the world. As we can see here, they love doing specimens, and they're super quick at it too. With their active intake that allows for quick grabbing, and paired with their quick drivetrain that grabs out the back and scores out the front, they can hit a 6 specimen autonomous. They scored 15 total in this match, but at Romanian Nationals they scored more. They also have a level 2 climb, allowing for some really high scores all around. This is truly a team that I'm sure we will see more of this season, as they were the finalist alliance captain at Romanian Nationals. I hope to see them again soon at MTI or a premier event.
Yeah, CyLiis has always been a really good team that have pretty much they've always built this like super small, complex, but also simple robot that can go super fast and score extremely well. I'm really looking forward to see what they do in the future. And now in third, we have Team 15167 Robo Troopers from Virginia. With the second best OPR in the world of 232, they won the Chesapeake Regional Championship with consistent 300 plus point matches. People always say simple is better, and this team proves that statement. With one set of vertical slides and a modified gecko wheel as an intake, their driver practice has paid off well. They have a well thought out plan of what to do in any scenario during the match, and with sub 8-second sample cycles, I'm looking forward to their performance at Worlds.
Yeah, this team is probably one of the fastest sample robots that I've seen this season. Um, I'm really excited to see how they plan to optimize even further for the World Championship, maybe by adjusting some different things on their claw mechanism, things like that. They're just overall really efficient team, and yeah, I can't wait to see how they improve. So I forgot who is in second. Team 21336 from Vancouver, Washington has been dominating our top 25 for the past few months and is currently first in the world for OPR, despite competing a month ago and remaining in their position even after the Romanian Championships. With their angle adjustable linear slides, this team is excellent in both sample and specimen scoring. In auto, they reliably score 5 specimen every time, which shows in their very high autonomous OPR. And one key factor of this robot that really helps them gain fast cycles is their very well practiced or either automated pathing to score their specimen. Even though this team has competed a month ago, their specimen cycles are still among the fastest that I've seen. And at the World Championships, they'll be a really strong contender in this area.
Yeah, I think I Forgot has just dominated the OPR list, the top 25 list for recent times. I don't they were top one, they were the number one OPR for a long time. Just now I think they're number two. It's truly impressive their specimen cycles and how dominating they were at the Washington State Championship. And I think at Worlds they're gonna be one of the strongest specimen teams there. And I just can't wait to see what additions they're adding to their robot, making it already even more effective. Now, moving on to our first spot, we've got none other than 17962 Rotu D2. While they lost in elims at the Romanian Championship, they finished with an OPR of 230.56, the third ranked in the world. They've been on this list month after month and have claimed the top spot this time around. Their small ball is truly spectacular, making them very maneuverable and having more extension on the field. Their active intake is super adaptable to intaking samples from any angle, making them able to do specimens or samples at the highest level, giving them a 7-sample autonomous and a very high scoring specimen, auto and tie-up. While they didn't qualify for Worlds, hopefully we can see more for them at MTI, BTC, or any other premier event. Anthony, do you have any comments on Road to D2?
Yeah, so Road to D2 is they're one of my favorite teams just because of how much they optimize everything and how just good robots they make. It's really cool to see that they did it yet again. And it's unfortunate that they didn't make it to Worlds. I know some qualifications, they had some things happen and they weren't ranked as high as I'm sure they were. But it's really cool to see that they year in, year out make great robots. And I hope to see them again. I know they were planning on going to MTI or at least applying, so we'll see where that goes from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rotu D2 has always created awesome robots, and it's really cool to see how they made their active intake, and it's so fast and reliable, and it, at least in the clips that I've seen, it's always been working. So I'm super excited to see what they do next.
That's going to wrap up our March FTC Top 25. What teams do you think deserve to be in the top 25 that weren't? Let us know in the fun Discord or comment on the YouTube video. And don't forget to vote in our final FTC Top 25 coming up next month. Before we end for the night, let's do our giveaway. Tyler?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Once again, this was for the battery pack and charger from our friends at TURBÅ Robotics. So if you do win, please go to funroboxnetwork.com and click the button for giveaway winner. And that's going to be, hey, it's Dot. Congratulations, Dot. Make sure you go once again, funroboticsnetwork.com and click the button for the giveaway winner. And thanks again to both Studica Robotics and SparkFun for the awesome giveaways. We appreciate it. And I really appreciate suppliers stepping up with that as well, too.
Yeah. Thank you for all of the follows and subscriptions we've received today, and don't forget that you help support the channel through YouTube for ad-free and early access videos. We hope you enjoyed this episode of FTC Top 25. If you want to stay connected with what Fun FTC is doing, follow us on Instagram or Facebook under Fun FTC, and watch other Fun FTC content at Fun Robotics Network on YouTube, and join our Discord through the link in the chat to learn more.
On behalf of myself, Anthony, Yashas, and Jessica, and our producer Tyler working behind the scenes, I would like to thank you for tuning in. Keep an eye out for future new FTC content coming out on YouTube and new live shows. Good night, and thank you for tuning in.
True competitors know that every second counts. That's why Kettering University challenges you to dive in right away as a first-year student. Participating in robotics programs helps Kettering students secure a valuable co-op. Whatever your interests, Kettering gives you more space to work faster and win faster. Learn more at kettering.edu/first. Studica Robotics is everything your team needs to build, learn, and compete. Check out their FTC starter kit, intake hub kit, and odometry wheel options at studica.com/robots. Teams in the USA can get up to 25% off and apply for grants at studica.com/robots.